we really need to look at ourselves and ensure that it is people like us and that we embody a spirit that has a direction towards our Creator and towards the pleasure of our Creator. People, people like who? People who aim for the good things in this life, and not the good things as in material things, but the connections and the love between human beings. I hope and I pray that we all could find ourselves. Not find riches and things, but find ourselves. Find ourselves enough so that whatever form of goodness that we are supposed to believe in or say we ascribe to, it can emanate from us. It can come out of us. I pray that we find that light over darkness. I pray that we find inspiration and direction in the life of Jesus, peace be upon him, and the way that he lived with others. I pray that we find that direction from the Almighty Creator so that we could chart a course to somewhere meaningful, not a temporary goal or objective in this extremely short existence that is before us, but something that takes us somewhere. All praise and blessings is due to the Almighty Creator, and I thank him for another day. A rainy one at that for us in Port of Spain. I am not sure what is transpiring across the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. Rain does not discriminate, it falls on all of us, but at different times according to our geographical location, and we all get a share of it. So try to stay dry and keep the children dry as well, so that we can preserve what health that we have, what blessing of health that we have. People like who? And in the international news this morning, I started yesterday just speaking about the interconnection between money as usual and politics. And Donald Trump saying that no money is going to be spent of taxpayers' dollars to build this new ballroom, this new opulence. He previously attended to build the white parts of the White House or somewhere else, and he didn't get a job. I heard him speaking about that at one point. But he's building. He wants to build this big ballroom, 999 people it's supposed to seat. Obviously, it has some type of meaning to them. Only don't be careful with these people now, at your own peril. But I'm just using this example, this because it obviously can translate to us and to others. And no taxpayers' money is going to be used, supposedly. He's going to put some of his money, whatever is his money, right? And some of these wealthy donors, some of these rich people who are going to put in, I think one pledged 25 million, another 20 million, a couple of them, to reach up to the hundreds of millions that are needed to build this ballroom, this place where not really for the average human being, not really for the average citizen, but for people to dine with the president and the elite. And of course, there are some people who are taking issue. Is it that you're buying proximity to a president? Is it that you buy in the good graces of a president who then can translate that closeness and that relationship into benefits for you and the companies that you run? A couple weeks ago, they would have sat down the head of BlackRock, the head of all these big Google, Microsoft, all these big companies, Lockheed Martin, right, developer and manufacturer of weapons, all would have sat down with him and discuss how they're going to do this, how they're going to raise this. This is the nature of this system that exists, that they want to implement on everyone. It is what we also pattern to a certain extent, more in some administrations than others, but in general, it is the modus operandi, it's the mode of operation. You put money, and with that money, you buy influence and you buy opportunity in the country. And I know what I saw, and I know to a certain extent what took place. People coming to try to buy influence and being refused. The ability of social media now to cut down the cost of the traditional media who influence people. So you have less connection and less control from those who dominate the media, the traditional media spaces. Let us understand what's taking place. Let us understand how even ungodly the whole issue is. And we have spoken about it in the past. The fact that all of our books and scriptures have directed us towards, staying away from corruption and greed, and to ensuring that there is space and opportunity and resources available to the people, to the masses, so we don't drive them into poverty. People like who? People who reach out and help their fellow man. Not people who take advantage of others. I don't know who is paying attention. And again, I just draw examples from the wider world and Western media as well. But we have examples right here, and people would know of these examples in their own communities as well. The exploitation of others. So you have Epstein, right? Abuser, sexual abuser of children and others and adults, taking advantage of the vile, if he taking advantage, or taking advantage as well, the base nature of some of the worst people who fight and cut and buy and destroy and to reach the pinnacle of what these societies that we say are societies, who inherit the bloody money, the money soaked in the blood of all of our ancestors, and carried on the tanks and the jets, the fighter jets that still establish their power and hegemony over others. What a world. And Epstein, it's laughable, but seriously laughable. Epstein commits suicide. The woman who, her book came out recently, and she was trafficked and abused by Epstein and others. It came out recently. She committed suicide, supposed. Just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing that we see these things transpire, and it's almost as though you're watching a movie. I mean, how coincidental, how interesting a plot twist is that the main people in the story die, and not just die, they commit suicide. It's just, and we continue to subscribe to some extent, and we continue to passively eat up this injustice that is continual. We continue, and some of us are suppressed by our leaders across the world. Leaders, if you want to call it that, but the people who command the armies and the police or whatever to subjugate the people as well. The level of subjugation is tremendous. Programming is one thing, so there's programming, and they tell you how to think and get you into group behavior to accept certain things and to feel powerless. But on the alternate end is might, is water cannons and tear gas and ready and prepared. There was a Minister of National Security right here who wanted to bring tear gas and this and that. Not just tear gas, water cannon, and to suppress the people. Just in case they find themselves in a position where they're fed up enough to stand up and come out. And we must understand this system, and we must understand ourselves. And we must find it within ourselves. We talk light over darkness. We talk it. We light dia over dia. We talk Jesus. Peace be upon him. We talk it. We talk Islam. We talk. We could talk. But what on earth do we live? What do we really live? How much of an effort we make against our base and evil self? How much of an effort we make to hold fast to our oaths, our oath to others, to serve, to whatever? And I just, as I listen to the international news, it's amazing how the woman, she brave enough to write, to speak out, to whatever, she commits suicide. I mean, come on. And then others have that fear. So if you stand up and you speak out about what they have done to you, you ought to be careful, because you might commit suicide or you might be suicided because I'm sorry, but I don't know if I believe. I don't know how much I could trust that the same people would traffic and abuse children, underage people, the same people who do the ugliest things and laugh about it together, who kill, who destroy, and laugh about it together, who have no level of moral standing. But people, human beings, consistently, well, maybe they voted not for what existed before, but in the same space, in what exists, they also voted for that. It's mind-blowing. I could take some pride in that, at least in some of the places where there are people who subscribe to philosophies relating to God. They are to suppress them. They are to put dictators over them and kings and whatever, and suppress the people and entertain and fool and trick and whatever, wealth, whatever they are to do. But man, some of us in the West, we subscribe. And many don't subscribe because it is a trick as well. Because many people in our societies in the West do not subscribe. They check out, they don't vote, they don't think because they're not interested in the system in that way. We, as a people, Trinidad and Tobago, we need to find ourselves. We need to find ourselves. We need to show that love. That love is supposed to be the underpinning of a Trinbagonian and a Trini. We need to find that. So we head into the little break on the top of the hour, and then we'll be back. We'll go into current affairs. All of this is just as current as anything else, but we're going to the current affairs and the news. All right, blessings to everyone, and we'll be right back.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the Street 919 FM.
Are you searching for answers to life's questions? Those things that disturb and concern you the most? Why all the wickedness? Why the suffering in the world? Will it end? Who is responsible? Well, if so, join us right here on The Street 91.9 FM every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. with Brother Samuel Gooding and Roland White, where we open the Bible and find answers to all these things and more. For it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
What are you doing? Big D, big fun, KFC, so we big on the ground. The big nation, cause you don't know we were the crown. Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Come to KFC, let we hold our vibe, and let we join together, because KFC is life. It's a big deal.
Say what you want, KFC, so we lead in front. We are big nation, TNT and KFC, one motion.
Big deal.
The safest vet in Trinidad heads to the shores of Pigeon Point, Tobago. Army Vet Tobago. Sirens and Stallions.
Yes, sir.
The undisputed king of events for Tobago Carnival 2024 is back. Bigger, safer, and beachier. On Thursday, 23rd October, from 3 p.m., calling all Sirens and Stallions, march down to Pigeon Point Beach for the biggest lineup for the season. Lyrical.
Like you get. So tell me why you're rocking.
Nyla Blackman, Young Brother. IWER George, Nick Haltasia.
Everybody charge up. We going higher.
Orphanal, Psy-King Ding Dong.
I wanna party.
Dev, J-Del, Whitix. 2025 Soca Champion Sucre, Tobago's very own Juby, and more. Big DJs, and hosted by the one and only Junior Lee. Beachfront early birds, $250. A Calvary all-inclusive VIP deck, $800. Get your physical tickets now. Available at all advertised ticket outlets. Army Fit Tobago. Thursday, 23rd October. Powered by Awesome Sounds, Wiggins Effects, and Candyland Carnival.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Champlain, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
The Embassy Yacht is back and ready to transform your events into unforgettable experiences. Launched from Kings Wharf, San Fernando, the perfect starting point for an epic experience of luxury, music, and celebration on the open water. By booking our vessel, your event will include a house DJ, state-of-the-art sound system, fully stocked bar, dedicated cleaning crew, top-notch security. This isn't just a venue, it's a floating masterpiece designed to make your event the talk of the town. Imagine your guests dancing under the stars, drinks in hand, with breathtaking views of the coastline as your backdrop. From birthdays to corporate events to exclusive parties, the Embassy Yacht offers promoters a unique platform to create unforgettable memories and boost your brand's reputation. Call or WhatsApp 399-5959 or email embassycruises@gmail.com.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. IWER George on Instagram. Share the live. IWER TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. Good morning again. Blessings to everyone who is locked on across Trinidad and Tobago and further afield. Blessings, Sita. I know you are listening from far. Princess Tong, well, I don't know where you listening from, right? Blessings, brother. Everybody. Lauren, etc. Thank you all for tuning in. Bit of a rainy day. I hope that the rains are measured and we don't have to go through that challenge of the flooding and flash flooding, etc. that comes sometimes with the rainfall. So that's my prayer and my wish, because I know how hard it is for people as well. The time has arrived, right? That's the headline on the Express this morning. And of course, that time is the time for the Chief Justice of Trinidad and Tobago, current Chief Justice, to depart. So Mr. Archie is demitting, is leaving office at this point. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Fuad. Thanks for taking the call and everything.
Yeah, no problem.
Fuad, what I want to talk about quickly. There's been listening about global issues, right? And it's getting worse with mankind when you look at it, me all over the world, boy. Down to this region here, some forces of evil trying to infiltrate, well, like in the Far East, it's only confrontation and war and thing you see nowadays. But you know what I think? Right where man was coming to terms with since in the beginning, when men fall from grace, from the I have to say that oneness with God, and they choose their own way. Yeah. Right? It is written that the Creator leaves man with the tree of the knowledge of the good and evil, and the tree of life was locked away from man. Right? To me, it's some significant statement towards what happened from since after that. It had many civilizations all get destroyed after a time. After a period of time, to me, like it's every 2,000 years, we will have a global, I have to say, transformation where God has almost replenished the earth.
Right. I haven't followed it enough to know the time space, but there is destruction that comes to people if they continue to do what is wrong. So,
right.
I just say, boy, old people, let's say, the longest day have an end. So, let me be careful that our longest days don't come to an end. Go ahead.
Well, something coming to an end here when you look at global conflict in the Middle East. It's only destruction. You're seeing it real, you know. You're seeing it real as cities after cities, people, migrants, walking in line like Batak, all about looking for rescue. And they're trying to make in the West here unrest like that. And it's some negative force or something I feel the Almighty does allow when men going astray from the laws of the cosmos, which is really good. Yeah. Good is the power of life or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And if we don't see good in others as we see in ourselves, it does strive to something like this. But no, I will not just want to believe. I know that it will come to the end of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The Creator, who creates man. Remember, man's still in a stage of development. Spiritually, as I would say, the flesh don't create. But spiritually, man needs to develop the self towards the promise. God promised man that one day man will return into the how it was from the beginning, right? And that could be like a new world that we have to strive towards accomplishing right now. The new world, and it's like, to me, it's like a garden, because we was in a garden, we was cast out. It is something like a garden. So that is the salvation of God I feel man has to live with mentally.
Yeah.
So we will have a different inspiration in doing things.
Yeah, let's leave it there. I understand your point.
We're living for science and technology too much now. I don't have to conclude. Thanks.
Thank you, man. Blessings. Yeah. We have strayed very, very far. We have strayed. And we continue to stray. It is human to err. It is human that we have this weakness in us, but we must consistently battle and grapple with ourselves. I have no problem with a human being who's fighting that continual fight of self. I'm not even going to be in a position or put myself and place myself somewhere where I think I'm aloof to judge or whatever. But if you try, you hide, you cover your shortcomings, you try to do good, you ask for forgiveness, you try to better yourself on an everyday basis, you do good to try to ameliorate, to purify, to better yourself. You have some shame about what you do. You have some shame. Some of the worst and those who are headed to a path of destruction are those who shamelessly, laughingly, mockingly do wrong and destroy others. So there is hope for anyone. Try your best. And I want to pontify on anybody. But the people who try and have a certain level of shame even in the wrong that they do. You know, and I ask the Creator, this entity, this being, for forgiveness of even them. Right? And I pray that people could realize themselves, as the last caller was saying as well. So to get more specific into the time has arrived. And admirable to some extent that he has, taken it upon himself to depart and to take his own departure from the position that he is in. 17 years, the longest standing Chief Justice. Battles, his own battles, and he will continue to have challenges of self once you are living. Right? So that's one of the main news headlines this morning, as Mr. Archie is coming, his term as Chief Justice is coming to an end. He resigned effective today, October the 22nd, right? If I make sure I have it correct, yeah. And of course that would have its implications. There would be this search now for a new Chief Justice, hopefully someone who can discharge their duty according to the oath that they will take. I don't know, men and women, we take oaths, we make promises. Sometimes we do so in the sight of the Creator and whatever other, and then we don't discharge those duties and those oaths and those promises. And we think it a light thing. Some of us do the opposite. Some of us abuse our duty to the people. Some of us enrich ourselves and do not serve. We are a disservice. Some of us inflict harm onto the people. Imagine that. You have a responsibility to serve, and instead of service, you inflict pain and hurt and damage onto the people. Continually. I don't know. And we see other headlines in the news. This one has also been drawing a great bit of discussion and interest, because it also leans on the economic standing of our country. So Nutrien, this plant at Point Lisas, is shutting down, effective, well, today. I think they said tomorrow, yesterday. And obviously we are concerned as a people, because it is a big plant, and they would obviously as well, we would derive some economic benefit from their activities, employment, taxes, etc. But due to some significant challenges, because the challenges have to be significant to warrant the shutdown, one with port access, and two with the availability of gas, they have been forced into a position where they have to close. And we're hoping that it is a temporary thing. They have said that once the conditions improve for them to restart, then they will do so. And that is a concerning issue for us. Of course, responsibility is being attributed. Of course, the blame is being passed on to the last administration, failure to negotiate contracts, etc. Right, that's one thing. Obviously, government would take credit for even actions that would have emanated or started within the last administration, but they wouldn't take blame, right? I'm just being real and being fair. That is the come on, if you want to impress people and if you want to impress even your stakeholders, etc., the population, you're not going to take blame for anything that you didn't do or were not responsible for in a major way at all. But of course, if you put the icing on the cake, you will still take all of the kudos. If people want to give you for baking the cake and all, you will take kudos for it. That we accept that. We real as a people, right? We accept that and we understand the nature of politics as well. There are many negative things that our past administration would have done. There are some positive things as well. And their legacy, that 10 years and even before, is what our current administration now inherits. Their actions and their inactions as well carry on. And it is for this administration now to pick up pieces, to pick up it, have some things that may be whole, to have some things that are broken, to pick it up and ameliorate it, fix it, put it back together, or continue what is good. And it is a tremendous challenge. I think people could respect and understand that it is a tremendous challenge. And even trying to chart a different course, even that is even extremely challenging. So y'all could take a look at that article. I do not want people to go into a negative line of thinking. The major part of the issue is a $190 million port fee, right, that they owe to Point Lisas. And obviously that is a large amount, and it is challenging to the company. Apparently it is challenging to them. They have been restricted in a number of ways because they have not paid those port fees as well. So a major part of the breakdown is there as well, and the company has to be responsible as well to honor those fees that they owe. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Baca.
Morning.
I want to raise a issue very quickly. I recall the St. Michael's School for Boys was closed down in 2018.
Correct?
I'm not sure, so you telling me. Go ahead.
Right. The thing about it is that every year after that, the regime, the government in power, continue to allocate funds to that organization, that place.
Right.
And they were asked yesterday, they asked the minister why no funds were allocated this year. And she said plainly that the institution has been closed since 2018. So I asked the question this morning, where were these funds going? Who was benefiting and why? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very, very much, man. And accountability is essential. Thank you for drawing that example. It's similar to Civilian Conservation Corps, which, I mean, the program and programs that cater towards our youth and development, I am all for that. But if the program is closed, there is no intake, then why are we continuing to maintain an office and staff, etc., when there is no product being produced? There is no cycle or work with youth and children. That, okay, I understand maybe employment. I don't know if it's continuity or if it is a thought pattern that another cycle will start, but that is a failure. It is a failure to have all of that administrative costs existing and you are not carrying out an exercise to benefit the society, you know, in lieu of that cost being paid out. Good morning, brother. Welcome.
Yes, madam. So good morning.
Morning. I hear your name on the Epstein files, you know. I know you.
Oh my gosh. I know nothing about that files, son.
All right. I feel I see a lineman with them at time too, you know. You, Big Trump, all it was, nah. It could be somebody else.
It come like this, my brother. In the circle have plenty different person than me. I speak about man. And no matter that you were on that side, I could be a friend. Once you invaded me in that, once you encourage me in that, I don't have a problem with that. You could be on that side, the rainbow color side. And in my life, I know sometimes I go in a place like the hospitals, places, and you have to deal with them and see them. And you have to deal with them. So sometimes you could be a bad boy. And I could be a friend. And talking to you and telling you to be yourself, do beyond that. But it's up to you. So sometimes they say, show me your friends.
Yeah, friend is a serious word, you know, not just associate and thing, you know. You see, if we liming together, we partying together, you seeing me telling jokes in your ear, hug up, wherever, that is a whole different level, you know, brother.
Wow.
Yeah, we gotta be careful to have a difference, you know.
No, well, as I say, point of view, yeah, my point of view, you could say that, but I common sense understand what I said because you tried to twist it, but what I come to say this morning,
yeah, man,
to tell Trinidad and Tobago, do not have no fear, and you are right. I rather this 8 months were gone and this 5 months were gone than the last 8 years were gone under Joe Biden and under Rowley. I think this last 5 months in Trinidad and Tobago under the leadership of Kamala Harris, she achieved so much in less than 5 years.
Yeah, we can't dispute that. We're not disputing that at all.
And when you could see in the United States that one man bringing $17 trillion, 17 children in less than eight months, going to a year, less than 8 months, he bringing $17 trillion by investment to his country and his people. And the fact remains, yes, it changed. It will be changed for the next 4 years. I do not know what will take place after the 4 years, but I know what is going to take place in the next 4 years. Today, it might have people the same way how it have people praying to go and take out Trump and plotting to take him out, want to take him out because of his policies and what he is doing. He passed a law, he have a bill where he draft up and put it for his people to pass it. The senators and the things on the house there. A legal alien who get deported because over the years, I know that is facts. Over the years, people get deported and sting back in and go in America and do more crime again, and they get back deported again. They sting back in again. So here have a bill right now on the table that once they get deported and you come back in underneath the tables, automatically you get 10 years flat. Flat from switching accidents. Republican senators yesterday big lunch with many of them to support that bill, to push that bill, because the reason why he did that bill, American citizen was walking at the park, going the way the little girl was holding her father's hand, and this legal alien just so out of no reason come out and shoot Shinshi head. The father hold his little daughter. What I tell the daughter, she's about, I'm saying something. And she died. You hold your daughter and she died. And as a father, as a person with common sense, you say, nah, if I'm in charge or I'm in some kind of power, I could do something to make sure that these things never happen again. So, yes, it changed. And the fact he mentioned Trinidad and Tobago, make it clear. The Prime Minister of Barbados do not speak to Trinidad and Tobago. The Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago gives Kamala the rights. Gives Kamala the rights. The people vote for her. Give her the rights to say that she stands with America. And she do not care if CARICOM votes for us or not. Because the people choose her as the Prime Minister. And this is going to be the agenda for the next 5 years. If these Caribbean leaders, I want to say it again, it is the men and them who in the shops and them in the ghetto who buy our goods, because 90% of our goods go in the Caribbean. I just see the facts. The Caribbean buy from us. We don't buy from the Caribbean. Yes, we do trade from the Caribbean, but the Caribbean more depend on us. They're buying goods and stocks and these kind of things from us. And if them decide to boycott us, the layman in Grenada, in St. Vincent, in Barbados, in Jamaica, in other Caribbean countries, the layman who are the palace shop, these is the individuals will see the days and they will get a backlash. They will lose the next election when they call the next election. So the CARICOM do not speak for Trinidad and Tobago. We are part of the CARICOM. We represent ourselves when we go to the CARICOM. The CARICOM do not represent us. We go to the CARICOM meeting to represent Trinidad agendas and to support whatever thing they bring to the table, to say, okay, we support it and let me work as a Caribbean people and let me get things. But the fact remain again. It is easy. It's common sense running the world today. As Dave Tanku tell the Minister of Things yesterday, it's common sense. It's common sense. Nobody come yet to the table. So they do not know if they come with 12%, 11%. So the money, when they ask for the 10%, they locate that money in the budget as yet. But when they come to the table, they're going to find the money. They have to find the money because promises made, promises keep there. I don't care what they will have to borrow the money from somebody to pay that back pay. So, as I quote my brother,
yeah, man.
Yes, you are not going to sit down the next 4 to 5 years and say, wow. I will say, wow. I will say, oh, I will be shocked. Because I know because I support an agenda and I understand the agenda and I understand what they're for and what they're going for. The same way as I said, I rather this last 5 months and this last 8 months, between that 8 years, between Joe Biden and Dr. Rowley, we changed every single system. We changed the system of electric cars and taking over the world. We changed the system of transgenders teaching men. We changed the system of that use a boy, you born a boy, and you want to turn yourself into a girl. We changed that. We are against that. We are changed that. Transgenders want to go in the army and fight war, and they're big and fat and all that thing. We changed all that system. To next one, as I said again, I do not know what will take place in the next 4 years to come. If the next president, if the Republican win, and the Democrat win, I don't know what will take place, but I know how I'm riding this train for the next 4 years. I thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Good morning, brother. Blessings.
Blessings to you. Morning to you and your listeners. Brother, I just have a little question for Kingsley, right? A little scenario. If it is himself or his family member or some close relatives, right, is kidnapped and held under duress, and they're probably taking them from here to Venezuela or from Venezuela to Trinidad, right? And it on one of these same ships, right? The people could be involved in narco trafficking, yes. But I'm saying if there are hostages or people held under duress on those vessels, are you still in support of the manner in which they are treating with the alleged narco trafficking, that we just blowing these ships out of the water, irrespectful of the passengers on board who might be involved, who may not be, who are under duress? Are you still in support of that course of action, Kingsley?
Yeah, I think I see them board a submarine the other day. You saw that as well?
No, I didn't see that footage.
Yeah, I think I saw them board a submarine, which is, in my opinion, much better. And well, you have less doubt when you see a narco submarine. But when you see a boat, you must have some kind of doubt. But they saying that the intelligence is so, and obviously from different perspectives, you might take their word for it if you are aligned to believe them. But obviously, some of us don't really trust those words.
Let me tell you what about these politicians who are, if they had the evidence, they would have more than be glad to share it and show it.
Yeah.
To justify their words. But just saying it.
But maybe they don't, maybe, I mean, Trump has shown you that he don't really care too much. And it's not just Trump alone. And this is the thing, I don't want Kingsley to feel as well. I don't really subscribe to none of those administrations too much, because their modus operandi, the way they operate, is consistent. Yes, the little flowery top pieces of, okay, one say they don't tolerate LGBTQ, whatever, and the next one allow it. But really and truly, come on. You know what I mean? That is superficial in terms of the actions.
Even considering that, right? We have to understand the makeup of human beings and the fact that all of us have the ability to do good and bad.
Yeah.
So when you do good, yes, I can give you praises, but when you do bad, is it that I continue to give you that undying, unwavering support?
Yeah.
Is it that is what is required of me? I cannot stand on my own principles on what I believe is just and these kind of things.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the mistake that Kingsley continues to make, irregardless of the direction of the people who he support. Many times he just go down a road, sometimes even contradicting his own self, his own stance at times, because these leaders sometimes they flip-flop. They head in this direction today, tomorrow is our next talk coming out from the tongue, and you just in support of it, you just holding up whatever it is. That not really making much sense to me. But as I say, it is only when some things reach home in front of your place, then is when you would want to have a different stance and want some justice and sympathy. But the course of action that they are taking could never be the right one. And if they could engage a submarine, they could more than engage the ships and apprehend persons, seize the narcotics if they really transporting narcotics, and let the people and them be answer for the alleged crimes.
Charge and tried and convicted. I for that I would support the action even in the realm, in the area, if it is limited to that type of behavior. I have no problem with that at all. Blessings, brother.
Yeah, look at me.
Yeah, man. So we see and I read into the article a little bit, because apparently there are a number of companies who are owing Point Lisas rather substantial amounts of money, and that is a real sticking point for some of them. And the port itself has signaled that, hey, we need our money, we need these companies to pay, and they also have threatened, I don't know if it has reached into action, I'm still reading into the article itself, that if the fees are not paid, which are dating back to January 2021, as far as January 2021, then there will be restrictions to the company's access to the port, which obviously would cause them to not be able to function as they need to function. So it seems to be a real challenging standoff there that obviously has been building up for some time, and a certain direction is being taken where administration is saying, pay, let's reach to some resolution. And I think some of that is why the minister would have alluded to these issues not being settled before. Read the article and try to get into what exactly is taking place. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hey.
How are you this morning?
Morning. I'm good, man. Blessed. And you?
I'm blessed.
All right. Nice.
So, I heard it on the report. We're concerning this ammonia plant or whatever.
Yeah, the ammonia company, Nutrien.
Right. But one of their arguments, besides the port, and they explain why it is they didn't pay for the port because of XYZ. So that between the port, NGC, and them are the trash out our matter. But that is not their problem, because they told us they could produce 10 million how much urea or whatever by the end of the year. And in order for them to tell us that, they have to know how much gas they're capable of getting in order to reach that production level that they're referring to. One of their arguments is that they have a shortfall of gas and the cost of the gas. That is their main, because without the gas, you could have the plant, but you can't produce nothing. You could have the port, and you still can't send nothing no way. So the port is not their issue, really. The problem with them is gas. So the minister said to us a few weeks ago that he had extra gas. So if he received extra gas, what did he do with that gas? That this company now will jump out to tell me they have a shortfall of gas and the cost of gas is too much. And Mr. Bakar?
I'm still reading through the article. So I don't know anything about extra gas. I don't know about extra gas. I know that our production has been down.
A few weeks ago, the minister told us that his gas production for one of them things has improved.
Right,
but
good.
You know what, I also have another problem.
But that don't mean extra gas, because we have had a shortfall for some time.
For the longest while.
Yeah, so if they bring on a little increase,
the point I'm making.
Yeah, it still leaves us underneath.
Well, right, of course. So then my question is, does this company, using what the minister says, because they want to increase their production, and they was not allowed to get any more gas, or did they get a shortfall? The minister ain't telling me that. The minister ain't telling me they get a shortfall, or if he increased the production of gas, that they could improve their production from 10 to 15 or 20. But
yeah,
I have another point. You and I are friends. I am working for you, right, Mr. Bakker? And you and I had a discussion. You are going to give me 10%. But the only how I'm getting this 10% is when you get a new contract. When you get a new contract, you will increase my salary. So you got the new contract. And you and I agreed that my increase is going to start at 10%. So if you got the contract and you and I had a verbal agreement, even though we know it has to go to arbitration for final, but the point is you as the minister and I as the employee, or you as the employer and I as the employee, both of us come to an arrangement without the mediator. So when you as the employer got the contract and had to pay me next fortnight, it's only common sense to tell you that, all right, I promise Mr. Bakker 10%. So let me see, I take out the 10% from the contract that I get that increase my income, or however you want to put it.
Right.
Whether it increase it or not, but you tell me when you get the contract, you're going to give me an additional 10%. But now, when I check your pay sheet, although you got the contract, you didn't put my 10% in the pay sheet to pay me next fortnight.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you getting that 10% that you promised me, Mr. Bakker?
Yeah, we'll wait and see, right? We'll see.
Well, I wonder, because it was asked by Mr. Brian Manning, because the minister said to us that we still have to go down and have wage negotiation. So Mr. Manning asked him, will this wage negotiation finish before the end of the year? He can't answer that. So that means he input, so this $3 billion deficit is rubbish, Mr. Bakker, because if the wage negotiation happen to finish before the end of the year, 2026, that means you have to find 9 or 7 billion to pay the pension, and then you have to find money for recurrent expenditure for those same people. So there is no way your deficit could be 3 billion.
Yeah, we're talking specifically about the 10% back pay.
Exactly.
And all that it would accumulate, right?
All that they fool,
right.
Apparently they are fooling the population, because after that program yesterday in the parliament, I expect that somebody will find the PSA to ask the PSA what's going on here, because if the minister ain't provide for your 10% that you said, the PSA is telling us 2014 to 2016 and 2016 to 2019. 10% was offered to them. She come on and tell Mr. Manning, Brian Manning, hush your mouth.
Yeah, we don't have to, but I will clarify for you what I understand from it and other callers as well. So please stay tuned,
Understand that they're fooling the population to get them the impression that I have the money for the budget and they don't have it.
Right, but and that probably would be clarified and proven not to be true.
You sound like the Speaker of the House, trying to defend them.
Nah, not too much.
At least your amber is showing, my brother.
And I ain't calling nobody short either. I saw that Mr. Mbut took offense, and I probably would not have done that.
You know why? When they make a statement that the Prime Minister went somewhere and fall long just recently, and they want to go mad, but when Stuart Young fall long, she have her own self call the man all kind of, I hear a man talking about gay and all kind of things. I have a man right now who in charge of...
Well, I'm sure she didn't say nothing about gay when he fall long. I hear you. Blessings, brother. Thank you.
I have a man in Portona, baby. Nobody ain't talking about that, but in charge of public utilities. So if Kingsley going along with Trump, then he had to tell his political leader, the public utilities man, let me know what side of the fence you're on. Enjoy the morning.
Blessings, yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. Go ahead, morning caller. Good morning, Mr. West.
Morning, Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, this business of governance and government, sometimes it's not that difficult, but some people make it very complicated. Especially when you're nitpicking and when you engage engage in scoring points and all that kind of thing. Government is serious business. And when you have a government, especially the relationships or the interaction between unions and government, and a government gives its word, then it has to honor it. And the fact remains is that whether in fact it is there or it is there, when the time comes, they have said that they're going
to make it available.
So what is this whole thing about fear-mongering and trying to rile up people and all this nonsense?
So I just wanted to correct Barretari as well. So what they have been stating is that the negotiations still have to take place, but the Prime Minister has instructed the CPO to give the offer of 10%. So this is the starting engagement of the unions and the CPO. So
and this is it. When you tell that you should put aside $500 million, and at the end of the negotiation, both parties sit down and they negotiating, and they agree at a 12%. Then you may have to go back and get more money to pay and all that kind of thing. So the point, I don't buy what they are about. They are just a mischief.
Yeah. And I'm not certain, and I can't take it for their word as well, that the allocation is not there. I have not listened to know if the allocation is not there. But even if the allocation is not there, as soon as these negotiations take place and they are completed, in whatever period of time, because if the PSA and other unions are comfortable with the way that government is treating with them in good faith, then who are we? Who are these PNM people who are looking for points to come to try to make an issue out of something that is not an issue to the workers?
Well, when you negotiate, sometimes you have to go there with trust and confidence, and you have, as you said, good faith and that kind of thing. So I wouldn't worry about that. With respect to this point, research matter, yes. And I heard they are saying, the company saying, I read two releases yesterday. One was, and then there's a change in what the company, expressed. And they were saying, listen, they were engaged in that process of seeking to get their problems or the issues alleviated. And they didn't put a time frame. But this morning they said that this matter went back since 2018. I was on another program this morning. One of the very said CNN, the opposition radio, that's friendly to them, sympathetic to them. And they said it since 2018. But the fact remains is that they have issues to resolve. And just like how countries have it on the international scene where you have disputes among countries or states, in the country you have disputes or you have relations or interactions with the company, government and companies and whatnot, which they have to resolve. They have to sit down and resolve it. And I am happy that the minister has taken the initiative to sit down with the company, right, and discuss the whole thing in the interest of Trinidad and Tobago. And it's not that I want the people to leave this country like they did with ISPAT and other corporations or companies in this country, expatriates, could have left the country. I want them to stay here because once they remain here, it would all be in the interest of the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
So some people seem to be happy that what is going on. They are hopeful that these people would pack up and go. But I'm saying that I am happy, I am satisfied that the minister, and this is where the question comes in too, and I am very concerned about that. The people you appoint to boards. The people you appoint to boards. You need competent people on boards. You need people who understand the experience and whatnot to make the right decision. You need people who are willing to sit down and negotiate. And the company at this point in time has leverage. Because look at where you are in terms of any negotiation. Because you need them. And to sit down there, they're advancing. In fact, they can in fact make demands that probably you would not in the normal state of affairs.
Yeah, in the normal scheme of things are here too. Yeah.
Because you need them, and therefore they have leverage. They can influence the whole process. They have a better opportunity, a better position to make demands. So people, I am happy that the minister went out there, and don't do like when you had ISPAP And those people were going, and you never met with those people to discuss, and they close down the spot, and all the workers and them lose union, everybody lose their work. So I hope for the best, and I must congratulate the minister, and probably I think is the directive, under the directive of the prime. I would suspect that, because that required urgency. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And the NEC has indicated that they are owed more than $612 million by port and pier users. And that is significant, but obviously companies would put forward that they have certain challenges, they have faced certain challenges in the past that have rendered them unable to pay whatever fees, etc. And negotiations must take place to try to find a middle ground where they can move forward, but we can also realize these costs, these profits, these benefits to our substantial investments that we would have made as well, because these ports and piers, etc., are substantial investments and costs to Trinidad and Tobago. So it's a delicate matter that we look forward to the satisfactory end to. Good morning again, brother. Welcome.
Morning again. I have to call back. You see, when I hear the contribution of Barataria and them, it reminds me of how important it is that I have to be abreast of all the narratives in the atmosphere coming from all sides. Because if I am to listen to Barataria and take what he is saying as the truth, it should mean to me that his PNM preference is saying that they offered 9%. Did they allocate anything as it relates to that 9%? Because they are saying that they offered 9%. So if they had done what Barataria is saying needs to be done, then this government, present government, would only need to find 1%. But for those who have been paying attention, they would know that that 9% is a lie, because what was offered is 4% with a narrative accompanying why the government is unwilling to budge beyond that 4% offer. Now that they have lost the election, all about it talking about 9% they offer, 9% they offer. Okay, they offer that, and what happened with the offer? Who accepted the 9%? Right? Did they allocate any money for that 9% offer that they offered?
Yeah, they wouldn't tell you that it didn't reach that stage yet. They wouldn't say that. They wouldn't say that the negotiations were not completed, so money was not attributed. But they will come and say now that 10% is offered, where the money in the budget, and explain that it is the same thing in our example, the same thing as before. The negotiation was not completed, so the allocation could not be present.
And it is fair for anybody who using the head to understand, because as I'm saying, where is the 9% offer?
Yeah.
Because the people who accepted, right, what PNM was offering, they accepted 4%. So where did this extra 5% come out from? What is this 9%? And if that is the case, where is the allocation for the 9% that they keep claiming to have offered? Where is it?
Yeah, thank you very much, brother. We would do well to be very, very cautious about the information that we take from anyone. I want to go beyond just those people who have their complete and utter biases and who propagate one side or the next. It would do us well to try to figure out what is actually truthful, because people will literally mislead us into doom, tell us doom and gloom there tomorrow, as they did over the weekend. And that's why I was saying yesterday, I was saying that there has to be some type of penalty for that level of miscommunication, not even miscommunication, malice. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Sam. Good morning.
Morning, Granny. Welcome.
I listened to caller just now. That man is a sick man. That man not educated. you talking about Kamala and the fall down now, and about Stuart Young and the fall down now, and you talking about a minister in Port Abbey, and that worrying nobody. Well, if he worrying you, gentlemen, you take it on. But let me tell you something. We have a good government, we have good ministers, and we have a good leader of the government. And with the Prime Minister of this country, we have a good one. And the minister who must import the baby, he must be the best minister. So you watch them business and your business looking bad. Thank you, son. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you too, Granny. Right, so this particular issue with Nutrien and also a couple other companies as well, because there are companies who have challenges with NEC other than this particular company as well, who we look to and who contribute significantly to our coffers as well, to our income, and therefore I trust that it will be handled now with the utmost skill. I understand the leverage on both sides that is being extended, and you know, we hope that things will play off in a manner that is best for Trinidad and Tobago. There are jobs at stake, there's production at stake, there's taxes at stake, there's money owed at stake as well. We come into our close, but KFC, we ain't gonna leave you out. Go ahead.
Blessed morning, forward.
Yeah, blessed morning,
well,
brother.
Well, the government will 20,000 new jobs, right?
Yeah, man.
So I carry them my brother and 2-3 stores down by the RP office down the coast. You have to go down there and apply. But when I go in there, is a set up PNN contractors turn look it up now, the other center looking for work now.
Well, so it go. Everybody want a job. I ain't vexed with that.
Would they want a job? I know that political person, that person, this is Crux sister, you know she?
Yeah,
was 15 years CPEP gang.
Hey, the calling names and all of that. Anyway, use KFC, yes? You could do all that. You big.
Yeah.
All right.
I hear about Tara talking about the Honorable Barry Parrott in Port Baby. You study your baby now. We ain't get nothing for disability for the last 9 years plus. Bless.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I don't know nothing about none of that. If I could have pressed the button for the disclaimer to come on, I would have pressed it right now. Right? We look forward to the successful negotiations between the Ministry of Energy and Nutrien and other companies that find themselves in the position of owing NEC substantial amounts of money. We could do with that money, but we also understand the challenges that may face those companies as well, and we want to ensure that they can continue to work with us, right, once it is profitable and reasonable to do so under those conditions and with maybe even concessions. It is challenging economic times. We strive to find our way through these challenging economic times, and the question is being asked, and it seems to be a legitimate question as well, about what was really being done to bring these issues to an end, to really negotiate those issues before. Blessings to everyone. We'll be back, God willing, tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and on Friday evenings from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer live on the street 919 FM. Designed with